Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. It is another Mavens of Manufacturing day today. And if you are tuning in, I know it's a little bit early, but we appreciate you if you're here. So grab your coffee, grab your favorite pastry, and come join us. Today, my guest is Natalie, and she is from SolidCAM, and I'm super excited to have you, Natalie. How are you doing this morning? Well, it's probably
I'm doing
afternoon where you
good.
are.
Yes, it's afternoon for me. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. And yeah, good morning to you, Megan. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to
Yes.
be here.
I'm
Yeah,
so happy to have you here. So why don't you tell everyone where you're tuning in from? Because I think it's super cool that with all of the technologies we have, we can have these types of conversations live
right.
as while we're around the world. So where are you tuning in from?
Well, I'm tuning in from Tel Aviv. So hi, everyone from Tel Aviv. Yeah, and it's afternoon here time. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, Natalie, thank you again for joining us. So you are the chief sales operator or officer for SolidCAM. So can you just kind of give us a little background information about yourself? Like, was engineering and manufacturing like the sector that you wanted to get into when you were younger? Like, what was some of your dream jobs growing up?
Okay, so thank you for asking and giving me the opportunity to share my story. And actually, my first answer would be no. Although SolidCAM was always part of my life,
Mm,
since I was 3 years old, it was not a classic story. Meaning, I didn't grow up as a child dreaming to be a part of SolidCAM. I was actually, I never had a dream job. I was following the path of going to school. I always witnessed, SolidCAM as being, how Emil established the company. I would
mhm.
see it, but I was never really felt connected. And even more than that, at some point I became a rebel. So I was in my own world. When I was a
Mhm.
teenager, I was giving troubles to my parents. Just to give you a small story, in those days, Emil was traveling all the time because he was recruiting resellers, he was establishing our daughter companies, subsidiaries.
Mhm.
So one day he's in Germany, he's going from reseller to reseller, trying to recruit. And then he gets a phone call and they tell him, Natalie ran away from home. And he's like, oh
Oh,
no, this girl again is making me so much trouble. So, yeah. So, actually, when I went to university, I was studying economics and business management. So, I was looking for a student job. I wanted to make some money, to go to party, to have some fun. So I called Emil, with a lot of confidence, and I told him, Emil, I want to come. I'm a student now. I want to come to work in SolidCAM. So he told me, no, 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 no. You are not coming to make trouble at SolidCAM. You earn money, you learn how to earn money, and
mhm.
then we talk. And I did that. I did all the typical student kind of job. I did the bartending, I did the waitress, telemarketing, sales. And then one day, David Somekh is my brother, is the
Mhm.
CIO at SolidCAM, a brilliant, creative guy, which I love working with, and so grateful to work with.
Mhm.
He calls me back then. He was implementing our first CRM. Before that, who could have imagined we've been using our Excels to manage our customers? He did CRM. And he told me, I have this small project that I need your help with. Can you come to SolidCAM and help me? Emil didn't know, but this is how I penetrated SolidCAM. So I came, still not feeling very connected. Just
Mhm.
coming, I'm saying to myself, okay, I'll make this administrative work. I'll be here for a few months till I get to figure out what I want to do with my life. It didn't hit me back then. Then I even learned SolidWorks and SolidCAM and gave the basic courses to our customers. And then came my first real opportunity, my first significant milestone at SolidCAM. I joined our direct sales team. So the sales managers comes to me and he tells me, listen, we have our customers and we want them to be on subscription because then they have access to get technical support, which is very important on the shop floor. And then they get access to our latest upgrades and enhancements. So I want you to come to call the customers, make sure they're happy, they're on subscription. I said, okay, I can do that. No problem. So I started calling customers, and I very soon realized that these are not just our customers. They are our partners. And why? Because from the second they buy SolidCAM, we are there with them in their journey. If they tackle a challenge on the shop floor, we will go and support them. We will support them when they will buy their next CNC machine. So I wanted to get to know our partners. So, but I didn't have much, knowledge about CNC machines and cams. So what I did is I partnered up with a technical guy and I started visiting our customers. So I got a sense of what it feels to be on the shop floor. So I saw this nice, impressive CNC machines cutting these nice parts.
Mm-hmm.
Then I figured out, wow, our product, it helps our customers to program these impressive machines. And then it started hitting me, the purpose, what we're doing here. And I'm talking to customers and they're telling me how they love using SolidCAM, about the iMachine technology, which I'll talk about later, the integration with SolidWorks, the ease of use. So I saw how our customers love our product and what we can do to help them. And then I started feeling passionate and I started feeling a connection to
Mm-hmm.
Then I was 4 years with our direct customers, and then I gave birth to my older daughter. I went away to maternity leave, and just before I came back, I remember Emil, he took me to a walk on the beach, and he told me, our worldwide reseller manager, the guy who was managing our resellers worldwide, he needs some help in his team. Why don't you, when you come back, you join his team? And I was like, wow, that was exciting for me, to go from local to abroad.
Mm-hmm.
So I came back, and that was my second very significant milestone. I started working with our worldwide resellers. I enjoyed it so much because, every country is different, every culture is
Yeah.
different. I work with resellers in Asia, in Latin America, in Europe. I had so much fun. It was so meaningful to me to help them to understand together what we can do to support them reach more machine shops in their local countries.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 4 years came my opportunity for my first management role at SolidCAM.
Okay.
It's when that manager that I was working under, he left the company. And then also came the first biggest challenge. And why? Because people may think from the side, she is his daughter, she's Emil's daughter, it's so easy for her, of course
Mm-hmm.
she'll get promoted. But actually it was the contrary, because I had to prove, am I here because of me, or am I here and getting promoted because of him? So that was the first challenge. And also the second one was that I want to explain working under Emil's wings. I mean, in one podcast, I cannot even start explaining who is Emil and what kind of entrepreneur he is, and a leader, and the kind of person who touches people, and how he made SolidCAM what it is. So being here under his wings, I very soon realized I had to learn my own voice. I had to have my own voice. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my second challenge. So in SolidCAM, not only I grew a career, also my personal growth was incredible, and it happens all the time because of sometimes this challenging environment. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll also connect it now to what you're doing, the amazing thing you're doing, Megan, because when I came to SolidCAM, this is like was a pure man's world. you
Yeah.
know it's a man's world. I mean, this is a fact. I even remember when I went to visit customers on the shop floor one day, there was a room, usually a room for programmers. One day I came and I saw a girl sitting. That was the first time after tens of customers. And I was like, in my head, on automatic pilot, where is the guy programming SolidCAM? And she tells me, I'm the programmer. And I was like,
Yes.
wow, nice. I was so impressed. She was handling everything. She was such an expert. And I loved it. I loved it. And I inspire, all women across the globe to come to manufacturing, the fascinating world. So that was my first, manager job at SolidCAM. I started managing the resellers. So overall, 7 years I worked with the resellers, and then
Mhm.
my passion keep growing, and I have more ideas and more ideas, and so at some point I want to take all these ideas after 7 years and all the experience I have, because today we are selling through two channels. We have the resellers channels, and then we have
Okay.
the direct selling operations in the
Okay.
US, in Germany, China, Korea, India, Spain. So I wanted to take that experience and put and leverage our overall sales. And this is where I stepped up to CSO. And so this is what I'm doing these days. All the ideas that I had coming up throughout the years, I'm bringing them to life. In our last SolidCon World event, I've announced that we are going to grab 10% market share. This is my vision. And Megan, when I was standing on stage and I was saying like 10%, I was saying like, did you really just say that? Because it's so ambitious. But then I realized it's not about the target. It's not about the number. It's about the
Mhm.
journey. Because when you say 10%, there's no way. You have to think in ways you didn't think before, and you have to take actions you never took before. So this is
Right.
me right now. This is my current journey. I'm enjoying it. I'm inspired by it. And thank you for the question.
Yeah. So I have a couple questions to follow up with that on your journey. So what one of the things is there's a lot of single moms that I know, or even parents that, you know, and I had this conversation yesterday with a colleague of mine because we're going to be doing a panel discussion at another show and
Okay.
in May. But we were talking about as moms, it's always like, they never ask like the dads like, oh, when are you gonna come back to work or something. It's always
Right.
they ask the moms, and there's like this kind of stigma where uh if moms are CEOs or leaders in a company, um then you must be a bad mom. Like you can't have both. But for a guy, you can have both. So
For
when
sure.
you had your oldest daughter, was it a hard choice for you to like come back? Like were you struggling with that choice, or were you just like, no, this is me. I'm going to be a working mom and a leader in this business, and I'm going to make changes, and I'm going to inspire my daughter. Like how was that journey for you?
Well, I'll start my answer by saying that something I really believe in,
Mhm.
that a good mom is a happy mom. And
Yes.
yes, I truly believe in it. And I also say um, quality time is better. Good quality time always is better than a lot of time. If I
Mhm.
have quality time with them and I'm content and I'm happy and I'm fulfilling myself, I can give them so much more as a
Yeah.
mother for their dreams, how they will shape, themselves, and how far they can dream. And I truly believe it in all my heart. We can do both. We can find the balance. Not going to say that this journey doesn't come with feelings of guilt. It always comes. I always
Mhm.
need to manage the feelings, but I always, at the end of the day, I always remember, because I'm happy and I content, and this is what I want to give out to my girls and my boy for the future. So I totally support every working mom. Go after your dreams, pursue your career. You can absolutely do it both with excellence.
Yes. And then the other question I had for you is, so I remember a long time ago working with my dad in a machine shop. I was in the
Okay.
shipping department, and he was the VP or the president of the US side of sales. And he pretty much got to like walk around the shop and make sure things were in order. And I was amazed because when he's at home, he's a completely different person. And I love the
Really?
man to death. Yes, he's
Mhm.
a completely different person at home. But I was kind of amazed seeing him work for the first time because just how connected he was to his employees and how he knew all of their names and like, oh, how's your son or how's your grandson? Like he knew something personal with every single employee, and there was like over 75 employees
Wow.
at the small
Wow.
machine shop. So I just was impressed by that. But then like he got mad at me for something that wasn't even in the shipping department area, and he's like, you should fix this. And I'm like, I'm in the shipping department, I don't know how. So he like held me at a higher standard. But
Okay.
it's been funny because ever since I've started Mavens, he and I have gotten a little bit closer because he's just interested in the fact that I'm introducing, like I'm meeting all these amazing women in engineering and manufacturing, and he's just like, oh, what's this? So he like we'll have conversations about what's going on in the sector, and he's kind of retired. He's not fully retired. I don't think he'll
Okay.
ever fully retire. But
Okay.
I just
Good.
was curious, how has your relationship changed with, because your mom's involved in the company too. So
She is.
how has that like either strengthened your relationships with your family working at SolidCAM? Because I just always find it interesting to hear the family owned business stories because like you can't, there should be a line between like your family discussions and your business discussions, but it's hard when you're a
Oh,
family owned business. So
yeah.
how's that been?
Well, I can tell you, that's right. My mother, the inspirational mother, Linda Somekh, she's always she also been in the company from day one, being the backbone, helping Emil, my father, shape the company. And actually, when I was growing up, because I was such a rebel and I was doing my own thing, I didn't have good relationship. I was closer to my dad because he could tolerate it, but I was such a troublemaker that me and my mom grew apart. So actually, the first time that me and her formed a real relationship is when I joined SolidCAM. And before that, had a group of friends. I would only see her at home. We didn't have, but then I came here. We started going out to lunches together, and so actually, it's thanks to SolidCAM that I got to, and today we're best friends. And I can tell you sometimes, it can look so nice that we're a family owned company and we're together.
Mhm.
But of course, it brings also challenges because sometimes everything mixes together.
Right.
We'll sit in a family dinner, all of a sudden, SolidCon will come up. We'll disagree on things. Sometimes all feelings mix up
Mhm.
together. But at the end of the day, I'm so grateful that it overcomes any challenge that I'm having, because I'm saying, in which other reality would I have the option to seeing my brother daily,
Yeah.
and and my parents daily. And so it's challenging. It raises up, sometimes challenges that we need to deal with as a family. But in overall, it's amazing, and I'm so grateful for that. Yeah.
So I do want to. We do have someone tuning in. Her name's Carrie. Natalie is such an inspiration to us women here at SolidCAM. That's gotta make you feel good because
Oh,
I've
thank you. Wow. It makes me feel so good. Thank you for sharing.
So then, can you dive into a little bit more about what Solid Cam is and what makes it unique from other types of cam software? Because it is vastly important in designing products and everything that we use today. Like when we were talking, you said you were able to connect more with the business after you knew like it's things that are in our airplanes, in our cars, our cell phones. So, what
Exactly.
is SolidCAM and what makes you unique compared to some other software that's out there?
All right. So thank you for this important questions. I can go on and on about our advantages, but I'll just really name a few that for me are the most significant. So the first thing I would talk about SolidCAM being a CAM software is that we are fully integrated and associative to the mainstream CAD systems. Of course,
Okay.
SolidWorks being the main prevalent CAD system that is used worldwide, but also Autodesk Inventor and Solid Edge. So, literally, our toolbar is within these CAD systems, meaning whenever our users need to do a change, a design change to the model, SolidCAM will automatically recalculate the toolpath. So, full
Oh,
associativity. Whereas in other CAD CAM software, which are not associative, they're out their own CAD, once they make a change to the design, they need to go back, import it into their CAM, and redo the toolpath calculation and the toolpath itself so that it's prone to errors and that's time consuming. So the associativity and full integration, it's far, it's the biggest advantage.
okay.
Second, after I can say proudly, after 4 decades of investing in R&D, today SolidCAM is a comprehensive one-stop solution to all machine shops, meaning SolidCAM today can support the most basic CNC machine, let's say two lathe, two axis machine, to the most complex multi channel, multi axis Swiss type machines. So, wherever machines you have in the shop floor, we can support it. And not only that, what I take great pride in is throughout the years, while we advanced with technology, we never compromised on our ease of use and learn environment. Meaning, today, our users get to program the most sophisticated parts on the most
Hmm.
complex machines in an easy to use and to learn environment. And for me, that's an amazing achievement. We understand, our users are sitting hours in front of the computers programming with SolidCAM. We owe it to them to first have a short learning curve and an easy to use and intuitive environment. So we
Hmm.
commit to keep not compromising on that. Third, it's our eye machining technology, flag patent technology we've introduced that revolutionized the machining world in 2011. With iMachining, we give our customers the opportunity to save up to 70% machining time to increase their tool life by almost five. And also, we give them a wizard that automatically calculates the optimal feeds and speeds for every point of the toolpath. Just imagine our wizard, they takes the guesswork out of calculating these feeded speeds to get to the
Yeah.
most efficient and fast cutting. I mean, this is the dream of 50 years of manufacturers, of machinists. Uh,
Hmm.
whenever we talk to prospects or customers about iMachining, they are skeptical because truly it sounds too good to be true. If I'm telling them I can save you 70% on your machining time or about the tool life, so then
Hmm.
what we do, the magic happens. We go to our customers or prospects and we take their own parts. We do a benchmark with iMachining. They get so amazed. We have so many success story in our SolidCom forum, in our website about these iMachining success stories. So we really feel so lucky to introduce this amazing technology. I would talk about our technical support because, Megan, when selling CAM, it's a, let me say it like this: a CAM software without technical support and post processor support is like driving a car without wheels. It's worthless.
Hmm.
So we got it from the very early beginning. So we've established a worldwide technical support team that is all of these, people work and a part of the team are machinists at heart. coming from different segments, coming from job shops. So
Mm-hmm.
when our resellers or customers would reach out to our technical teams, always on the other side of the line will be a machinist at heart, attending to their needs and challenges and helping them. So that's an amazing advantage. Every CNC machine out there, we will have the post to support it. If we don't have the post, we have the teams to do it, to customize these posts. Um, and the last thing I would say, in the last few years, we see a trend of consolidation in the CAM market. You see a lot of CAM companies being bought by big enterprises. And in this trend, although many offers were presented to us, we always insisted about staying independent. And why? Because when independent, we have the freedom and flexibility to continue to do what we want to do, and that to stay loyal to our customers and to continue developing what they need for their machine shop.
I like that. I think that's important. There's a difference between like consolidating something, but then building partnerships where you can collaborate and being able to have those two entities like keep what is important to them and also the freedom to be who they are authentically. So I admire you for that 100%. Do you have a phone call?
Thank
Do
you.
you have a
Yes,
no,
Skype. Yeah.
no, don't
Always
worry.
multitasking.
Right, no worries.
Yes,
That's what we do, right?
yes,
So
yes.
then I know within your on your profile, your LinkedIn profile, there's a lot of things that you're creating and releasing. So can you talk about some of the things that you are working on for this year and the future? Like what are some new features or new things that SolidCAM is announcing and doing and maybe integrating within your software now to really help your partners?
All right. So beside, we keep, developing our own software and adding enhancements to make it more powerful. We're doing other things such as introducing 3D metal printing. We are introducing now the combination and hybrid solution between additive manufacturing and subtractive manufacturing. We believe that this will play a significant role in the future of manufacturing. We'll see it in almost every machine shop. And also, two fascinating things we're doing in the area of AI. First, we are these days we're feeding ChatGPT with all of our documentation and frequently asked questions and webinars. And very soon, our customers will be able to ask anything they want about SolidCAM from just a chat box, and they'll have a pool of information to draw the answer from. So this is the first thing we're doing with AI. The second exciting thing we're doing is actually we're going from to be collecting customers. They're making operations with our software. So we're
Mm-hmm.
going to collect this data, we're going to analyze it, and then we're going to feed it back to the customer for his next operation. So, it's all about AI, and we're very excited about it, and we are looking how to leverage it into SolidCAM. So these are two main things we're doing these days.
And then the last time we talked, and I think that it was actually the first time I met you in person was at the SolidWorks 3 Experience World
Yes,
this
that
year. And
yeah.
one of the things that you said that you were trying to really do is get more into the U.S. market. So how how has that journey been compared to other markets that you're involved in and then around the world? Like, how does the US market compare to some of the other ones that you're involved with?
So first, I would say about the U.S. market is, in terms of comparison, that it's the biggest CAM market in the world today. And because also the U.S. market, it was early to adopt, to introduce CAM software into processes more than other markets. today, unlike maybe other, US is almost a complete or replaceable market, meaning every sale we do is to replace an existing CAM system.
Okay.
So how and again, how are we able to do that in a almost complete replaceable market? It's because of our integration and associativity with SolidWorks, that gives much
Mm-hmm.
leverage to our prospects, and also, because of our 10 years ago, I'll go back 1 second to R&D because it relates. 10 years ago, the segment of multi-channel and Swiss was kind of neglected. And we back then took a strategic decision to become leaders in advanced mail turn, multi-channel, and Swiss. And today that plays a significant role in our US market, because our customers there, they if they're using a competitor CAM, they still need SolidCAM to operate
Mm-hmm.
these machines, whereas our competitors, they don't have usually the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that these two factors play a significant role in our penetration and conquering the US market.
So, another topic of discussion that seems to be a global discussion is workforce development, where a lot of companies are struggling to find
Oh yeah.
talent to come through the door. So, I'm always curious to hear companies' conversations or advice that they have or their why. So, younger generations, there's still some misconceptions that manufacturing is this dark, dirty, dull, dangerous place. There
So not
are Right. There are communities in the United States specifically that do a lot better job like advocating for the modern day type of manufacturing, and they really connect with the CNC companies that are there, and they really introduce advanced technologies like additive manufacturing. So why, in your opinion, why should younger generations learn more about CAM? Like, what sort of skills do they develop and what types of careers can they pursue learning the CAM side of things?
Listen, if you ask me, I truly believe that becoming an expert today in CNC machining is truly one of the most interesting and rewarding career you can pursue. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, because again, manufacturing, it's innovation. It was moves the world, right? Everything we do, every product we use, every vehicle we drive, every airplane we fly in, it all comes back to manufacturing. So for me, I would say to this young generation, you have the opportunity to touch, the, the backbone of, of manufacturing, of what moves the world.
Mm-hmm.
So now, of course, in order to become a CNC expert and to know how to program these CNC machines, you have to be skilled by learning a CAM software.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, to do that and to help, our students around the world, we've introduced a totally free version of SolidCAM that can be downloaded by students, hobbyists, makers, totally free. They go onto our website, they download it. The only limitation they have on what kind of CNC machines that these versions can support, meaning if they want more complex machine, they'll have to buy the full version. And that also takes me to our recently partnership with Titans of CNC. I'm sure everyone in the audience know Titans, the
Mm-hmm.
US-based global leader for educating and connecting and lifting, students and professionals and educator and CNC. They have an amazing platform
Mm-hmm.
for teaching and educating machining and manufacturing. And we also just partnered up with them they will promote our Swiss solution. They will also be making the Swiss Academy to educate about this kind of advanced machining. So I would totally, I would think, back then I didn't get it, but today I get it. I think for every young generation, they should come and take a part of this fascinating manufacturing world. I totally support, and also women and girls.
That's awesome. Well, then, if you had one ask for our audience today, Natalie, what would your ask be for them?
If I were to ask them a question, I would ask them, what is manufacturing to you? What do you think about manufacturing, and what is the value of it to society? And again, I would say, because manufacturing touches every aspect of our lives, I think the answer would be clear. It's the major building block of the world. So this is what I would ask. This is what I think it's the answer. And yes, and if I had to ask them to do something, I will tell them, if there's anyone here that has a machine shop, please reach out and let us help you take your machines to maximum productivity, because this is what we want to do. This is what we're all about.
So, are there any upcoming shows that you're going to be attending that they can reach out to you at? Or if not, how else can they get in touch with you, and where should they follow you?
Of course. Well, I'll be attending the two major shows this year, which will be IMTS in Chicago.
Yeah.
I know, we'll meet there. And also the AMB that is happening in Stuttgart, Germany. And our biggest event happening this year, which I'm so excited about. You know, every year we have SolidCAM World in a different location in the world. Last year it was Istanbul. This year it will be in Germany, and we're actually going to celebrate 40 years anniversary to SolidCAM. So I'm super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of networking, and it's going to happen in beginning of October in Germany, where, you know, Oktoberfest, so a lot of networking, fun, drinking beer. Megan, we would love to have you there, by the way.
So, when is that? It's in October?
It's end of September, yeah, end of the beginning of October, and it's happening in Germany. And yes, it's going to be amazing.
So
40 years to SolidCAM.
I've been to Munich once, and I fell in love with it. Like, I just love that area there. And we had a tour guide take us to the grounds of where Oktoberfest is held. And like, that's one of my bucket list items now, is to go there when Oktoberfest is happening and just check it out. But I would love to come if I'm able to.
Perfect.
I mean, it's hard to get away right now with two little ones, but yes, I need to keep that in mind. So hopefully I can come, because I love Germany. Well, Natalie, thank you so much for joining me today morning. Well, it's an afternoon for you, but I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing your story. I think your family is so wonderful. I just met your dad and your mom briefly at 3D Experience World, but you're such a great family and good human being. So I really appreciate you taking the time. For anyone tuning in, be sure to reach out to Natalie if you have any questions about SolidCAM. She is on LinkedIn, so be sure to connect with there. And if you're at IMTS, I will get in contact with her to get her booth number. We did have one more comment for Carrie. She said, yes, come join us. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Tuned in. I got a brief video from Somekh. And yeah, have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye. Thank you so much, Megan. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
The power of habits. Quietly present in our day-to-day, yet paramount in the pursuit of progress. To stay competitive in manufacturing, businesses must dare to adopt new habits to constantly fine-tune, optimize, and evolve. Cutting costs, mastering technology, simplifying complexities. It's about driving resilient change, about looking at challenges holistically, meeting them calmly, responsibly, and with purpose. This is how we work with our customers and partners every day. This is what we call manufacturing wellness. It's a set of healthy habits built from decades of experience and collaboration that shape thriving, sustainable businesses. Manufacturing wellness. Creating value today while gearing up for the future.